Hello and welcome back to Dicebreaker, or should we say Dungeonbreaker?
Yay!
You really should start
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, I'll keep setting them up, you keep
Knocking them down.
studiously refusing to knock them down. Welcome back to the sort of the final 3-episode run of our adventures on the Sword Coast. As you may remember, our heroes arrived here having sort of been tricked by the Demon Lord Yeenagu, who unleashed a whole army of Gnolls on the land that are sort of going far and wide and generally sort of killing everything in sight and burning down lots of settlements. Our heroes started to make for Waterdeep. They were sped on their way by a curious wizard named Biffle, who offered them passage in exchange for them dealing with a squirrel problem. So now our adventurers have arrived in Waterdeep, along with possibly their greatest antagonist yet, a squirrel called Big Gary, who has been catapulted to parts of the city unknown, and is, presumably off somewhere just doing something heinous. And they have found themselves in a pub called the Constant Disappointment, which allows goats, which is useful because Tim the Goblin is currently a goat with corks on his horns. And generally speaking, they're settling in, they're getting to know the locals. They're not warning anyone about the Gnoll Menace or anything like that. They're just putting their feet up and having a pint, and that's where we join ourselves.
I think we can all agree it's a well-deserved pint.
Yeah,
I'm not saying otherwise.
All the pints in hell are warm, so...
Yeah, it's been a while.
And flat.
Think about it, right? So, right, on one column, the cons of our arrival, we did unleash an invasion of hellish Gnolls. On the positives, helped out that Biffle bloke and got rid of his squirrel problem. Stopped those
We really are
hobgoblins.
heroes.
Yeah, stop those hobgoblins, so they're all done, sorted out. We have arrived at Waterdeep. We're about to tell everyone about the invasion. We haven't got to it quite yet, but chalk that up as a 0.5. So net positive of all the fantastic things that we've done for this world.
Yeah, utilitarian theory states
Yeah,
that we are in the right, therefore.
Exactly.
Are you still a goat, Tim?
we are heroes.
That I was going to mention that. I think wild shape only lasts for an hour.
Oh, okay.
So
somewhere around the start of the second pint, you turn back into. Okay, the barman comes over and is like, right, okay, and takes the corks back. He's like, he'll be behind the bar if you need him again. Bump bump.
see, Tim is sat on his bum like a toddler, and he looks quite disappointed. And he's like, if I have my way, I feel like sometimes I'd like to be a goat forever.
Does your head hurt?
No, strangely enough, not. I suppose goat skulls are tougher than you might think they might be, but yeah, I suppose my soul hurts. Maybe my ultimate destiny is to become a goat. Or maybe I'm just having a bit of a mournful moment. And he gets up and sort of waddles over to the table where everyone else is and struggles to try and get up on one of the seats.
Where were you when you were when you
You're
were
on a
telling
line,
us?
a goat.
Just sort of nestled by our feet on the table.
The goat
Yeah.
drinking area is like the smoking area you get just outside.
The goat
Yeah.
can't sit on the chair.
That would be...
Oh yeah, that would be ridiculous.
No, Tim's trying to now get up on one of the seats. Just going, oh, I nearly did it. Hang on. Oh. Like scrabbling up.
Amelia Montebank, who is ever present but sometimes quite quiet, picks Tim up and goes, there you go, Tim, and puts him on a stool, reaches over and pours about half a pint of nut brown ale into a sippy cup and screws on the lid, and it's like, it's got 2 handles, it's like it's impervious to doing this, all the usual toddler stuff. So you got a sippy cup of nut brown ale now.
I didn't see you there until now, Amelia. Thank you so much.
Yes, I've been practicing my stealth, she says.
Yeah, I think every time Amelia Montebank turns up, this goes, whoa, God.
So, does anyone remember why we came to Waterdeep?
Do you know what? I was just about to ask that, because I do remember there being a reason that we came. I don't remember what that reason was.
Well, I
reckon
assume
we
the
probably
moment's
sorted it in the
passed,
morning.
so...
Yeah.
There's a table of locals, just sort of like men clearly like in their early retirement years who just sort of, this is where they go to catch up with one another and the world. They've got sort of
cards?
no, they're not that sort. They've got nicotine stained moustaches.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
kind of sat back, and like the way their hand is just nestled like paternally on their beer mugs. They look like statues. They look solid as oak, but they're just actually sat there, supremely comfortable. And one of them goes, "Excuse me, are you travellers?"
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we travel all around. All sorts of planes and realms and all that.
Oh, we don't mind about the outside world here in the constant disappointment, even though sometimes the news is and all of the men together go, disappointing.
Love that.
What tidings have you to share with us? Excuse my voice, I've lived in Waterdeep for a while. It's drifting.
Oh.
Oh, not much really. We've we did go to one little village outside of your sort of constabulary. I don't know what the word.
Police. or something.
I don't know why that was the first one that came to mind.
Yeah.
Jurisdiction? Helpfully
Constituency, I
one
know.
of the other old men drinking.
we
But
found the
we,
local government.
We helped those out, those lot. They had a little hobgoblin problem. I think they had some gnolls there as well, or something like that. Gnolls. Somebody remember something about gnolls?
Yeah.
Oh, my horse is called Gnolls.
Yes, sorry, that was it.
Oh,
Anyway,
yes.
so
My
yeah,
steed.
we thought we'd head over to Waterdeep. We did have some kind of business here, but at the moment we're just putting our feet up because we've done a lot of good, a lot of do-gooding recently. So
Yeah,
good to relax every now and again.
arguably, we've saved your lives. So, and Morboss just shakes the empty glass at the group.
They look at each other and they're like, how do you reckon on that then?
Well, I look at us. We're clearly heroes.
Yeah.
But all they can see of Tim is just his ears at the moment.
Yeah, and I'm like,
And
I'm a hero.
We'll point out, you might not have heard, I'm sure it'll be circulating around the town, give us some time, but there was a pretty dangerous squirrel called Big Gary that you don't have to worry about anymore, courtesy of this one. So,
Also, did you hear the song earlier, the Ballad of the Dungeonbreakers?
Yeah.
I performed it with the band earlier. I've told the whole story of our adventures
Yeah.
thus far.
yeah.
I like go to like poke him on his nose.
He gets a pinch of snuff out and he's like, right, I really don't see how all that translates to you definitely having saved my life when 20 minutes ago you didn't know I existed.
Well, if we didn't do all this stuff, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
What? How? Why?
Well,
Because there's an army of Gnolls, not my Gnoll, different
Oh
Gnolls.
yeah, I just
yeah,
remembered.
we came to warn the city.
Yeah,
Because they followed us from hell,
Well, no, that allegedly.
and then now they're here to destroy your world.
But we came to warn Waterdeep. Now Waterdeep's warned, so
Yeah, we've just warned
if you
you.
think about it, then
yeah, if you
saved
could just
your lives.
spread the word.
Excuse me, from under the table here. I'm just a little, not really a complaint, just a slight comment on what was just said. I don't think we have actually warned really anyone in Waterdeep about that yet.
Yeah, were that the warning?
Well, I suppose so.
Well,
You're the first
yeah, I
one to be
guess-
told about this.
I guess you are probably the first people we've talked to.
One of the other sort of retired guys is like, sorry, hold on. You mean to tell me that there's an entire army coming to lay waste to Waterdeep, And not only are we the first people you've told, but you want us to buy you a drink before you'll go and tell anybody else.
Well, that was Moorboss's idea.
Well, we just got here.
Yeah, we did just get here.
We
were hoping to
risked-
maybe talk about it in the morning.
Why are people around here so ungrateful? We saved a village.
We were
The
gonna
village
have
are
a-
aware. If anything, it's their fault. They haven't spread the word.
Yeah. They're also
We just wanted to
turning
have a drink, get some sleep, and then first thing in the morning we were going to warn you.
We'll go talk
Don't
to
project-
whatever it is, the king or whatever.
The local
Listen.
mayor.
Fine.
You, pointy horns, don't you project your guilt at barely helping a village from the sound of things onto us. If you feel bad about the way you treated people, deal with it.
No, I don't feel bad.
No, I don't think
Sorry
any
if
of
that
us
was
have
the
felt
impression
bad
I
about how we
gave.
treated people. No.
There are tired people say, well, I suppose we should go warn the captain of the guard, since it's not going to happen otherwise before tomorrow morning.
What's his name?
The
Or
captain
their
of the
name?
captain of the guard is called Captain Anders.
His first name is captain.
Well, it's bold of you to assume it's a man.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's fine.
I feel like this might be a bit difficult. I am somewhat disadvantaged for my height at the moment. Tim's raising his hand like above the table. I'm over here. My name's Tim. I've been listening to the conversation, sort of eavesdropping a bit. And I wondered whether you would be able to take us to the captain. We'd be able to warn him then. I guess I just kind of forgot about it for a bit, but now I've remembered. I'm more than happy to go and warn everyone about this army that's coming.
Perfect. Well, if you go with Tim will be able to tell you everything we've done.
Yes.
And you're not going to finish those, are you?
Are you talking about my sippy cup?
The drink's on the table.
You can have this as well.
actually-
It's quite an urgent
Moorboss?
warning.
Moorboss, can I borrow you for a second?
I suppose.
Can we just talk over there where everyone else isn't?
Yeah, all right. I'll follow Fizz into
Just go
whatever
into a
corner.
corner.
Yeah.
Into the chimney. Is there a chimney?
Yeah, if there's a chimney, we'll go chat in there.
There's a
Oh,
chimney, the
bag.
fire's
Okay.
not been lit yet.
Yeah. Climb straight in there.
I've just had a thought. Whilst I do like the idea that Tim goes and does all the telling and we just go to bed, Tim's quite honest.
This is a problem.
Yeah. Because, look.
By the way, while you're talking, you see Tim get off his chair and he's waddling over to the group.
Just walks in.
They are introducing themselves. They do it quite quickly. You're not entirely sure, but you're pretty sure that 90% of them are called Jeff or Jeffrey or something along those lines. Sort of that sort of variation.
Yeah.
And then there's Mickey Big Hands.
Oh, Mickey Big Hands. Well,
Everyone
that
is
won't be
Mickey Big
confusing at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, his hands seem to be no bigger than anyone else's, but.
Well, when he
nonetheless,
got the name, he was a kid, right? And
Mickey Big Hands.
He grew into
Yeah.
it after a while.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
it's maybe it's
Metaphorical is very
metaphorical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because look, for all we know, they could be like, oh, thank God they warned us, and we get on with our day. But if Tim, as he has done in the past, sort of points out that we were slightly involved with the proceedings, we might be in a bit of trouble.
Yes. Well, I suppose you have a point. So, yes, you accompany Tim.
Whoa, hold on.
Well, you had this grand plan, Birdman. I'll stay here with the cat and make sure they don't get into any more trouble or sing.
Well, that's another problem, because the cat is sort of singing about the fact that we came from
Wee! You hear that from the background.
Yeah, floats into the chimney.
Oh God!
Now, I don't know if you know this, but We Are Wumberway is abyssal for we got the Gnolls in. So
Okay, well,
look, maybe we should go to group.
it's
Oh, why is that
Yes.
so funny? So stupid.
And I'm like turning to the Jeffries and Jeffs, and I'm like, a wimba-wit, a wimba-wit, a wimba-wit, a wimba-wit.
Tim is just jiggling now, just like getting into it as well.
Mickey Big Hands isn't quite sure what's happening, but he just picks a fiddle up from somewhere and is like,
Yes!
As this floats into the chimney, Morwaz is just like, oh god, you're right. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
It's either that or we stay here with these morons. It's
Look, I'm as tired as you are, but we can have a nap after we've sorted this whole thing out, all right?
yeah. Well, and if it all goes to hell, I mean, we'd know what that's like.
Yeah.
We'll leave. I assume all of this floats back out of the chimney, so that the whole room can hear it.
Echoed this entire time.
you've probably been drowned out by the fiddling and the
The
abyssal, the Wimbleways. Yeah.
Okay. It seems like we're in agreement on this, so Morboss will step out of the chimney.
Okay.
When you come out, I'm doing wavy arms and stuff.
Wacky
I'm like
wavy
really
inflatable
busting out,
arm
really busting some moves out here.
The Jeffries and Mickey Big Hands are all looking quite concerned and quite anxious to be off.
Yeah, Tim looks at Mickey Big Hands and Co. And says, I've always kind of been interested in interpretive dance. Maybe I can learn a few things from Mist over there. At the moment, the best I can kind of do is sort of jiggle a bit. Anyway, shall we get going, or anyone else want to join us?
Yeah,
No.
Jeffs, me and Morboss have had a chat, and we decided... Sorry, Jeffs and Mickey. We decided that, you're right, we're probably being a bit lackadaisical about the whole situation, so we'll all accompany you to go see the guards, and we'll get this whole thing sorted out.
Well, I don't know who this Daisy you're talking about is, but this sounds like a fine plan. All right, let's go.
I'm a wimba weighing out
Ow,
the door.
okay.
Yeah,
into the
you
street.
hear them being like, oh, Wimbaway. Oh, it's in my head now. Ooh,
Assuming one of them leaves a half drunk pint, Morboss picks it up for the road.
But yeah, Morboss plays a quick game of Winesweeper. You sort of have to assemble a whole pint, but you can do it.
Does that mean you're stealing one of the mugs?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of qualms
Does it say the name of the pub? So you've got a little souvenir.
Yes, it's the Constant Disappointment tankard.
Nice.
That's very flash.
Yeah, it's quite nice. But
That's what keepsake.
on the bottom is kind of like stamped into because it's sort of like earthenware. On the bottom is stamped like, if found, please return to pub. Like, it seems like this is quite a common thing that happens
Oh yeah.
in the Constant Disappointment. You don't have to go far before you find somebody of the watch, because you're kind of in one of those streets. There are a lot of buildings sort of lean out over one another, and it's sort of cobbles. It's a lot of hard surfaces. So, needless to say, you're a Wimbawaying. Makes quite a lot of noise, and a man kind of in a guard's uniform comes out and says, "Now, what's all this then? You're making quite a lot of noise here in the city of Waterdeep, which of course is a city and thus is open to metropolitan goings-on, but at the same time I am charged with keeping the peace, and so I am here to ascertain whether your intentions in making such a racket are good or not."
So he approaches us right at the bit where it's time to go, wee! And I just do that, like, right up in his face. Like, my face is, like, right up in his face, dude.
Please step back, otherwise you will be arrested for attempting to intimidate an officer of the law.
Is arrested any different from being arrested?
Yes.
Right.
A question for the DM.
Yep.
Didn't we already get in a little bit of trouble with the City Watch before when we first arrived?
The goat.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
it's
got a
'cause of the
license
goat,
now,
though,
eh?
yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
He just showed the license for a goat.
Oh, yeah.
Despite the fact we
we've
don't
got
have a goat
and
anymore.
performance license, thanks very much.
Yes,
Great,
we
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You did, yes, but there seems to be a different officer of the watch.
Oh good.
And you don't have a goat, so
Yeah. Well, I go.
he's probably not going to ask for the license.
Goat's an acronym.
Goings on outside to pub.
speaks up and says, I don't think that was my friend's intention at all for intimidating you. I believe they're just really getting into the music, as it were. Well, we're very happy to find an officer of the law. We wanted to talk to you about a potential, threat. I don't know how minimum it is, but
I'd probably call it more inevitable than potential.
Citizens, I would be more than happy to hear your reports, but first, this tabaxi must vacate my personal space.
Yeah, miss, come on, don't be.
Oh yeah, I'm like dancing in the background now.
Oh, okay, all right, fine.
I think I've stopped singing, but I'm still like doing like the dance moves like in the background.
The officer says, now, if you will wait 1 second, he reaches, he sort of pulls his the metal of his breastplate away from like his leather undershirt, pulls out a notepad, and then he's wearing a hat with a sort of like a feathered quill.
Yes, of course.
And he just like there's a little sort of metal kind of like almost like a camera's aperture. It's like, it's a metal disc that sort of closes and opens, and he adjusts a ring and just pulls the quill out and goes, please tell me what it is you wish to report.
Right, well, it's very simple. So we were sort of minding our own business around, what was the town called, everyone? Remember?
Let's not be too specific, I suppose.
Yeah, well, anyway, there's a town or a village
quite
sort of like
forgettable.
over yonder, sort of pointing in the general direction that I think it's in. You'll have to excuse us, we can't remember the name. But we did go through a big forest on the way here, if that helps. Now, in said town, they were being attacked by...
Sorry,
No, not now, Tim. Not now, Tim.
Was it Succumber by any chance?
I have heard of Succumber. It is a place. I will write Succumber, brackets.
Right.
Thanks,
It was
Tim.
that, because it was like somber.
Yeah.
But no.
All right. Okay. Yeah. If you two
More
Mormos, you want to take
letters.
these two
Definitely
somewhere else?
Succumber.
More letters than
No.
somber.
If you have begun to make a report, therefore, by the law, you are required to stay here until such time as
Right,
I dismiss you.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, there was what appears to be a Gnoll invasion, and we're not, of course,
Not my
talking-
Gnoll, though.
Not Miss Gnoll, obviously.
No.
Who is Mist and who?
This is
where
Mist, the
Right.
Tabaxi.
You are Mist.
Mist has a
Tabaxi.
steed
M-
named Gnoll.
IST.
Yes, that's how I recorded it. Steed named. Is this part relevant to the
No,
report?
it's just to clarify.
His name is
Strike it
Snow.
from the record.
Yeah, but
Uh,
the rest, see, the Gnolls that invaded, they are actual hellish leopard Gnolls or hyena Gnolls, those kind of Gnolls, big monsters.
those Gnolls.
Yeah,
Those Gnolls. Ooh.
Yeah, scary Gnolls. Yeah.
No.
GN.
Yes, I'm aware of how one spells Knoll. Yes, thank you.
I'm practicing my spelling.
Right.
They're getting very good at it, I have to say.
Now,
You've been
how-
improving a lot.
How many of these Knolls would you say are present in the area?
Well,
Millions!
well, let's not say millions.
There was like at least 1 million.
The low
I-
tens of hundreds.
Tens of hundreds.
At least 1 million.
Tens of hundreds is a good estimate. There weren't tens of hundreds in a village, but we did kill almost all of the ones in that village.
Eileen
yeah.
and I whisper.
Yes, yeah, we should talk
tens
about
and
reward.
hundreds of millions.
No, missed. Stop it.
I'm going to write down thousands.
Yeah. Tens of hundreds, if you will, but yeah, thousands, yeah.
And when he writes it down, I'm like, yeah, see, 1 million. I think that's how 1 million is written.
You'll have to excuse my companion.
Yeah,
They
we-
are
We've improved
not
on
the
our,
intellectual powerhouse of the group.
We've improved on our spelling, but I think numeracy still needs a little bit of work. But we're getting
I'm surprised
there.
you know what numeracy is, Tim, to be honest, growing up in the swamp.
Is this relevant to the report?
No, this absolutely
Right.
isn't, I apologise.
Okay.
So,
I did not write it down, so it does not need to be struck from the record.
fantastic. Well, so obviously the problem is now, obviously we killed some of the Gnolls, so, call it multiple thousands minus, 5? But the rest, the difference between those two numbers, may or may not, and we don't fully have that information, but may or may not be marching upon Waterdeep with plans to invade.
Oh, there's a dinosaur as well.
There is a giant dinosaur.
Oh, he's
Small
really
footnote.
big.
Sort of
Yeah.
leading the troop.
Yeah, bloodthirsty dinosaur. If you could just add that in the other section or miscellaneous.
And we could have taken him down, but we didn't.
No,
We did try.
I feel like I should give a statement about.
No, Tim.
the said dinosaur.
No, Tim, you're drunk, mate. You had your nut brown ale. No, Officer, Tim's inebriated. I don't think we need to listen to their.
Who has given alcohol to this child?
Oh, not a child, just a goblin, sir.
Yeah,
That's
they were
actually
goats
quite
at the
offensive.
time, so I think it's...
my apologies.
Goblin. No, officer, I really feel I need to speak up about the intentions of the dinosaur that was mentioned.
Tim, you need to have a lie down, all right? You've had a lot of nut brown
Nope.
ale. Might I just remind you that you were a goat 1 hour ago?
Excuse me, mouthy bird person. I would like to hear what this goblin has to say.
Thank you, officer.
I cast sleep on Tim the Goblin.
Oh. Sorry, I don't want to give that whole report again.
Are you doing PvP? Okay.
Yeah, sleight of hand check.
It's happening.
I would. Can
hit
I
points.
to aid Mist, sort of catching up to what's going on? Can I cast a minor illusion of some crime? Oh,
Okay.
some crime over there.
What sort of crime are you casting?
21.
How many hit points do you have, Tim the Goblin?
21.
Oh!
He might be small, but he's got some chunk.
Okay, but that is still 21 hit points accounted for exactly by the roll. Tim the Goblin, you fall asleep for a whole minute.
I put him in the papoose.
Okay.
Oh, Tim. Yeah. See,
What crime are you minor illusioning now?
just general crime.
Just general
No,
crime.
just
a bit of
crime.
that.
You know, a little bit of jaywalking, a sprinkle of.
My
Someone's
God.
downloading some Game of Thrones episodes.
Yeah, there's some piracy
Right.
going on.
playing
Somebody stole a policeman's hat.
Dungeons and Dragons, the game of fantasy adventure, and you give me that you wouldn't download a car advert from the early 2000s. All right. Some people walk past, and somebody says, "Did you enjoy the pageantry of the House of Chairs last night?" And one of them says, "Verily, I did not pay for it, but I watched it illegally."
Oh, crime over there.
And the other says, "Yes, everybody does it. I do too. It's very easy to get on a rooftop near to the HBO theatre and watch from there.
The logistics of this are being worked
And
out.
the best bit is, if you find one of the best houses, you can watch it at the exact same time as the audience." The guard goes, "Oh, this is a crime. I should really go and prosecute that crime. But I will wish to take a statement." Oh, the goblin has fallen asleep.
Yeah, sorry,
Well,
I
now
told
I'm
you
torn
he's
between not being able to take the statement and having pressing business elsewhere. But you are trying to tell me there is an invading force coming
yeah.
to Waterdeep,
Yeah.
and that the alarm should be raised.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's the gist of it, yes.
That is
Great.
the main
Actually-
thing to take away here.
How long have you had receipt of this information?
Oh, not very long. We arrived not that long ago today,
We just
and
got
we've
here,
been
yeah.
trying to find, who to report this to. We went to a pub to try and figure that out.
The Jeffs are like, "That's true, officers. They did tell us, but they didn't seem to be in a very big hurry. They
Well-
wanted a second drink, and they wanted us to buy it."
Well, allegedly.
The guy said, "That is technically not a crime. However, it does strike me as irresponsible and
You're right.
unbelievably selfish.
I
I will
apologise,
write it
officer."
down as a character witness should this become relevant later on.
That-
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go brutalise 2 theatre goers who did not pay 2 groats. He produces a club and marches off. You see him absolutely beat the crap out of 2 people who are arguing about which the best of the noble houses is.
Can I just point out that was an illusion as well? So those people were not saying that.
Dang. Okay. He
So
goes.
those
he
two
goes-
random passers-by.
He goes and beats the crap out of two lecturers from the local university.
How long has it
One
been,
of them had
Bonnie?
just got tenure.
Oh no.
Since we started this recording,
No.
400 years.
No, since Tim fell asleep.
I'm going to say it has been precisely 59 seconds and 1.
Right.
Tim wakes up.
Awakens in this song. As I was saying, officer, the dinosaur doesn't know what he's doing. He's just been...
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry,
he's
Tim. You fell asleep, and now the officer's gone off to deal with some other crimes that have been going on.
Well, it's very unusual. I wasn't feeling sleepy at all.
Some people say piracy actually grows the audience and is beneficial. However, I am charged with the letter of the law.
He's been otherwise occupied by it.
Yeah. Capitalism's a hell of a thing, Tim.
Well, I don't want to question the logic of telling this clearly trustworthy sort, but maybe we should find someone who's actually, going to tell anyone, and maybe just file a piece of paper that says.
Well, yeah. Look, we've told the law enforcement. Now we should make way for whoever's in charge of this city, right? Your king, some kind of
sure.
feudal lord.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll take action.
Yeah.
Well, I will say I didn't quite get the opportunity to speak on behalf of Cisco.
No, you did. Tim, you did.
I don't remember doing that.
Well, Tim,
Yeah.
if we
Explained
ever run
everything.
into the guard again, then you can sort that out.
No, Tim did. They just can't remember because they were drinking so
Are you
much.
gaslighting Tim?
Missed.
Tim is like, I must admit, I did very mysteriously fall asleep all of a sudden. I was a bit tired, but I didn't think it was suddenly...
Furthermore, I break the books and I could spoil the whole series if I wanted.
Well, anyway, it seems that the officer is
He's very
otherwise...
busy.
Yes,
Fizz is quietly very impressed with Miss.
He seems like quite aggressive for it.
Yeah, well, that's modern day law
Overly
enforcement, isn't it?
aggressive.
So should we head off? Jeff, who's the most important person we could feasibly talk to right now?
Well,
Who
I
could really
imagine
get
that-
something sorted?
I think Captain Anders would be the person to tell about that, but
Was that
I
not
imagine-
Captain Anders?
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, maybe I can explain to Captain Anders about it.
No, that's not
Cisco.
necessary, Tim.
Well,
You're not supposed to file 2 separate reports with
Well,
2 separate officers of the law.
I imagine, to be honest, that policeman, now he's finished meting out justice, is off to tell Captain Anders.
Oh, right.
You can see him running there with his whistle in his mouth,
Yeah.
running and blowing his whistle.
Are
Indeed,
you-
he's running towards the keep, just like.
Are you sure that officer is actually going to tell Captain Anders and that he hasn't just seen more people potentially talking about committing piracy? He seemed quite,
Oh, no.
quite enjoying.
I wouldn't worry. See, when an officer's blowing their whistle, it means they're on a mission about one specific, big and urgent crime. At night, they get 2 lanterns out and they start whirling them around their heads, so everybody knows to get out of their way. And the only reason he'd be doing that would be to presumably fetch the captain of the watch and tell him that there's an army coming to destroy Waterdeep.
Great, we've done what we were here for. So
Yeah,
and
that's third now.
that was a heroic action. So
Yep.
Should we try and get some sleep? I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, I'm knackered.
Yeah.
Can we get back to the pub and have a sleep?
The Jeffs are like, well, you do have a peculiar way of warning people when there's a marauding army about to tear down an entire civilization. But you've done your bit, I suppose.
I don't remember asking your opinion, but thanks for leading us over.
I mean, you seem quite calm for people who live here. I mean, we can always go.
Leave. Yeah.
We're all soaks. We've been hammered for 15 years. We're retired. What else have we got to do?
Living is a strong word for what they've been doing.
Come on, let's go back to that pub and have that song in Infernal again.
Yeah.
They say.
I can't remember how it goes.
I think it was Chumbawamba.
Chumba, wamba, chumba, wamba, wamba, chumba,
Wow.
wamba.
I don't
Was
like
that
the
it?
song anymore.
Yeah, no. Tim is just like, well, you can't falling asleep just almost suddenly and I must admit, very mysteriously. Maybe
You
I
must
should-
be exhausted,
Yeah.
Tim.
Oh, I
That is the
suppose.
only possible explanation.
Yeah, I suppose that is the only possible explanation.
The only possible explanation. Any other explanation would be, frankly, impossible.
Yes, okay. Let's go and have a nap then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll pay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so you return. Are you going back to the constant disappointment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've still
the bar-
inexplicably got 38 gold.
Oh, wow.
Do you bring the mug back, more boss?
Yeah, but I don't put it on the table. I just keep it. I ask for another one when I get to the.
I can't find my mug. Where's my mug? Give me a mug.
You get fresh. You get fresh drinks. And Fizz, you can rent some rooms for the night. Sort of like late afternoon now, but everyone is tired. You're rooming together. Is everyone getting a separate room?
Separate rooms.
I've got enough gold that I do not want to sleep in the same room as everyone else.
Okay, all right.
Can Tim and I get bunk beds?
Yes.
Yeah.
Either
Do you want
one
to
of
sleep
you-
on the top bunk,
Either
Tim?
one of you is going to have an incredibly large bed, or the other is going to have their legs hanging off.
It's the latter. They get confused and they give you 2 bunk beds suitable for a goblin. So it's basically mist when you lie down in this thing. It's like a troll fell out of the sky and landed on a mountain. You're
If
just
I
like,
fits, I sits.
yeah, fair
Mist.
enough. Actually, of course, you can curl yourself
Curl
up
up.
into a little cinnamon bun.
No,
That's quite cute.
Mist is definitely getting the top bunk. Imagining their legs are hanging over the
Well, the tail is just like,
The tail is like sweeping your nose every now and again.
yeah,
lifting
yeah.
you up.
I feel like
Somebody draw that because that's cute.
Fizz and Morboss would have to get the rooms either side, and maybe they've got connecting doors in case they hear any disturbances in the night.
Yeah.
Like, go back to sleep.
How are we the parents? How is this happening?
God knows.
I'd also, I think Morboss would talk to the proprietor and try and convince them for about, let's say, 45 to 55 minutes to give us the rooms for free because we're heroes. But it almost certainly doesn't work out.
I mean, you're definitely the parents. I don't understand how you're questioning. How you're the
Meanwhile, I'm
parents.
making it rain.
The barman listens to you in that kind of barman-like way of just like, this guy just needs to tell me his life story. And he's like,
Yeah,
It's
mate.
like,
Yeah.
sorry, pal. No free rooms. They've been paid for by your friend who agreed to pay for them.
Oh God, another mistake.
You don't seem to like your friends that much, do you, pal?
Friends is a very strong term.
Okay, all right. Hey, no, I'm yeah, I'm
Even-
just the bartender. Yeah,
I mean, companions would also be. If they're just kind of there. And they're just like,
This entire time I've been sat next to you.
Oh yeah.
Just eating
we are
bananas.
just here,
like-
boss. Yeah, we are right here.
But what I'm trying to say, man, is that, you know, sure, they're just here, but it's the people who are just here who make up your whole life, man. Like, open up. Don't be afraid to get to know people. Let them get to know you. Like, you seem like a pretty decent guy.
Anyway, I'm going to bed.
Boss, open up, mate.
God, acting like a bitter ex.
Yay, why don't you open up? I hate Kenkus. Right. Okay, so Morboss goes to bed, having been challenged about his approach to life. Anyone else?
Oh, yeah.
Already
I'm
asleep.
off bed,
Yeah.
Hashtag already asleep, mate.
Okay, alright. So everyone gets... We'll call this a long rest. Because you're not worried about doing anything urgently.
Nope.
Well,
our
I
job.
mean, if you want us to help, I need all my spell slots
Yeah.
back. So.
You want us to be useful, you know.
Useful.
It's just... I don't know what it is about you lot, but even discussing the most basic concepts of D&D, you manage to be so rude. Like, what if you want us to do this adventure that you've kindly set for us? You're going to have to give us something, mate.
I
I'm not doing it unless I can cast spells.
I will defend myself against such allegations. Also, Tim, before going to bed, goes to speak to Amelia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amelia is in the corner. She's sort of ordered herself something to eat. She's just eating it with a dagger. It's just like, it's the dagger platter.
I didn't
It's
buy
like
Amelia a room.
hunks
by
of
the way.
meat. She
loader.
she paid for her own room. She's paid for her own meal. She's like, "Hello, Tim. I was just thinking about leaving forever."
Oh, no,
Um,
you mustn't do that. Oh, why
She's
would
like,
you want to
well,
do that?
because Waterdeep seems like quite a nice place for an enterprising young woman such as myself, and you know, much in the same way as I didn't want to be tied down with Inigo, why do I want to spend my time around an ungrateful and deliberately abrasive Kenku all
feel
my
like-
life? I don't think I do. Tim, you're great, but is that enough, really, to keep me here? She tears off a chunk of bread and bites into it in an adventure-y sort of way.
You make it.
Amelia's being very like that Animal Crossing villager who comes to you and is like,
Like-
I'm thinking about leaving the island.
Yeah.
Well, you make a good point. I mean, you know, Fizz isn't always the easiest person to get along with. I've found myself sometimes disagreeing with some of the things they've said, but you know.
Tim the Goblin.
I know, it's very unlikely. I think sometimes I get in some moods, but I wouldn't want you to go. But on the other hand, I can't really force you to stay.
Well, I'm going to think about it.
Yeah.
Well, if you'd said that to an Animal Crossing villager, they'd be like, okay, bye then.
Well, I mean, she's got a lot more like chunks of food to stab and eat. So she's even got an apple that she's gonna like atmospherically slice into tiny bits and like eat off the blade.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tim quickly says, I will say, earlier I did feel mighty odd when I've never just suddenly fallen asleep like that, at least not since I was a baby, although a lot of people seem to misinterpret myself as being a baby, but despite my assurances to the contrary, I'm an
You
adult.
do like to be dandled, Tim. You like being dandled a lot.
When you go
And
up,
I'm saying that as someone who likes dandling you. Like, you know, it's fun. Like, it's a giggle, you know?
well, I suppose when you grow up without any parents at all, you sort of crave affection from parental figures of some sort. But it was very odd earlier when I fell asleep. But all of a sudden, I don't remember giving that report to the officer.
How about that? Maybe it's the altitude? Or maybe the tabaxi cast sleep on you? It's one of the two. I can't remember. She snaps a chicken wing. Like, it's one of the two.
Is she eating like the guy out
Denethor,
of
son of
all the-
Icthelion, yes. Yes, she is. She now is. For some reason, she has put down the dagger. She's no longer a rakish adventurer. She's turned into Denethor. She's looking around for a halfling to command to sing.
Yeah, Tim the Goblin's going to start singing.
Yeah, Tim suddenly starts.
Can you sing, Master Goblin? Home is behind. No, she doesn't have a chicken wing. She's still it's the song from the thing. She's not eating like Denethor. She's eating like an adventurer who's cool and not Denethor.
Yeah. Yeah. Tim says, oh, just quickly, just to go back to something you just said. You suggested that maybe Mist could have potentially cast sleep on my person.
Hey, look, I'm not trying to sow dissent among the party. I'm just saying it is possible that Mist did that because Mist does it a lot.
They do it a lot. I wonder why they did. I've never had the others really cast spells like that on me before.
Well, I mean, I said it was a maybe, Tim. You know, what if it is the altitude or something you ate, like a powerful sleeping draft that you don't remember eating?
Yes, maybe it was.
I think you hear like the stomping claws of Fizz coming down in his nightgown, like, Tim, it is way past your bedtime. What are you still doing up?
Is it not like when you have pigeons on the roof?
Or not?
Yeah, please say you have your feathers up in rollers.
Yeah, I've got my feathers and curlers.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're wearing fluffy slippers.
Please, I didn't realise. I'm sorry if I was making a lot
I
of
need
noise.
to put on my claw cream.
Yeah, of course. I'll come up to bed right now. I'm sorry for disturbing you, Amelia. I've got a lot to think about.
That's all right. So do we all, Tim. It's a scary world out there, and you know, we've faced some big challenges, and we've come through them together. But there are a lot more challenges out there, and I think that scares some people, and I think it. You know, maybe that's why they just so concertedly try and avoid literally any responsibility. That's the only reason I can think of it. But anyway, Tim, you've got some sleep to catch up on. I've got some thinking to do. Let's call it a night, eh?
Well, Tim goes over and hugs Amelia's middle. Probably more like her knees, to be honest.
Yeah, I was about to say, how are you reaching that?
And says, well, whatever choice you make, just know that I support it and I care very much about you. So
She pats you on the back. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that.
well, I better get off to bed. Fizz is very stubborn about these sort of things.
Yeah.
And
All right then.
Tim waddles up the stairs and then gets into his little bunk.
The minute you leave the room, she's like, "Oh, thank God!" and starts. She just
tomato.
explodes
Yeah.
a tomato all over the room. Can you stick that hobbit?
I think that one scene has ruined tomatoes for an entire generation of people. Like,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who do not eat tomatoes now because of that.
Master Hobbit. Anyway, you pass the nights. So we'll call that a long rest. In the morning, you are you're gently woken by the sounds of the constant disappointment sort of like slowly coming to life. You hear the fires.
Very musical episode.
Through your combined Dormor boss, you're woken by you guess what passes for the dawn chorus for Kenku's as he just starts just going doo 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 doo. But then anyone who hasn't yet woken up is woken up by the blasting of a massive horn that's gone. And it's like,
I think it's Tim just farting.
Yeah. Morbos, after complaining at Fizz, leans out the window and is like, "Would you keep it down?"
So what's to try and sleep around here?
This is the worst place we've been to yet.
That a person in the street who's just wheeling a wheelbarrow of turnips goes, "Oi! Can't you hear that? It's the master! The captain of the guard's got a big statement to make in the town square, and if you're available to go, you should by law."
Well, if they could just keep it down.
No, you should go. Anyway, it's free.
Tell me
It's
what
not like watching House of Chairs or whatever
open
the
kids
show's
window.
called. I forget what it's called.
We don't even live here. Why should we go to your muster?
Well, you are in the... Oh, piss off! He wheels his cart of turnips away, leaving you to decide what to do because it's your own life.
People here are so rude.
Tin gets up and says, "Oh my, there's an awful lot of noise happening right now."
I think I hear the conversation like that happened because they're shouting to each other right from windows.
Yeah.
And I get up and I'm wearing pajamas.
Yeah.
I'm wearing pajamas with mice on them. Lots of tiny little mice.
Right.
Actual ones that you've caught in the past and preserved.
Oh, like dangling off.
They're
Yeah.
made of mouse.
Like
Yeah,
when you
staples,
raise,
staples.
it's like, you know when leather jackets have the tassels under the arms? those, but they're rat tails.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Yeah, they were going with that.
We really hope they're dried because the smell of that.
Yeah, they're smoked or something. Yeah. No, I dried them in a book. You know when you do that.
Oh,
with, like,
yeah.
Flowers.
With flowers.
Yeah. Rat tail. Totally normal. Okay.
I think
Wow,
we
that's a
need to
lot
go
of
to
bookmarks. Someone must be really enjoying this book. Oh, way! Okay, yeah, Miss, you come down wearing your pajamas.
Yeah. Let's go. Say sleepily.
Yeah, I come down. I've primed my feathers now. They're out of the curlers. I'm just putting my cloak on, and I'm asking the bartender if there's any breakfast available.
Well, normally there would be, but I've got to go to the muster. It's
Not you as well. Look,
What time is
listen,
it?
mate.
It's
I've
the
been
muster.
to actual hell. We got to cook breakfast there.
Okay. Well, why don't you go back to hell then? If you want your cooked
Why?
breakfast,
I'd
go
love
back
to,
there.
but
I'm going to make
It's only
I'm going to make
accessible via a
breakfast
magical
after
portal.
the muster. I'm going to make
goodness.
breakfast after the muster.
Okay,
You can
I'm
have
sorry,
breakfast then.
I'm sorry. I'm still a bit cranky.
It's
Somebody
my
woke us
civic
up.
duty. Well, yeah, I got woken up too.
Yeah.
All right.
Look. Okay. Look. It's obviously
Bang!
I didn't mean to take
They've
that one out on
left.
you. All right. I'm
They've
sorry.
left.
Still
They're
talking.
gone.
At this point, Tin waddles down the stairs.
Okay.
And he's like, well, everything seems to be happening at the moment. There's a giant horn being blown outside. I don't quite know what that means, but...
Yeah, everyone's saying we need to go to the town hall, Tim. And I told them we don't even live here, and apparently it doesn't even matter, so
Hell no.
we better get our stuff.
Do you think it's anything to do with the Gnoll attack?
It might, to be fair, it's a good, it might be. It's a good idea.
I'm gonna go out and give an oat cake to Gnoll and then ride him into the square.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Yeah.
You take off. You follow the crowds that speed up, funnily enough,
Yeah.
as they see you coming. So actually, basically, what happens is you arrive in the town square and screech to a halt at the rear of a 200-person column that just barrels into the crowd like their favourite band's on, and they want to get to the front. Because you've just chased them there with a Gnoll.
Yeah, Morboss 100% is like, oh, there's someone just over there, and is making way through the crowd. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
hi.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm holding drinks. Can you make some room?
Tin
so is that-
waddling behind, just
Okay.
trying to
Yeah,
keep up.
we'll all try and get a
Okay.
view, I imagine.
Okay. All right. Very well. The crowd is there, and people calm down after the rude 200-person stampede that is now sort of in the middle, and being like, oh, there's a horrible thing happening. And people are like, shut up. It's the muster. We know there's probably a horrible thing happening. Shut up. Everyone in Waterdeep is very cranky this morning. But then the crowd kind of falls to a hush as a very imposing looking woman in sort of a very shiny breastplate, holding a helm with like a really fine plume under her arm, sort of walks out and raises an arm. She says, "You all know me. For those of you that don't, I'm Captain Anders."
Tin says, Tin says, hello, Captain Anders. But barely anyone can hear him because he's so small
I'm
and low
like
down.
waving, like because I guess I look like I'm at a concert on somebody's shoulders, right? So I'm like,
She catches sight of him and is like, yeah, hi. Waterdeep faces perhaps the greatest threat in the last age. By nightfall, the city will be beset by an army some thousands strong.
God, they really need some kind of PA system around here.
There is a big hubbub among the crowd. They're like, "Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa." People are like, "What is coming?" Ah, she goes,
What did
they
you
all
say?
sound
Something about the Greeks inheriting the earth?
She goes, "Peace, peace, please. I'll answer your questions afterwards. First, I will tell you what we know. Next week on Dungeonbreaker." Thank you so much for watching this episode. It's been a wild one. No one rolled a single die. How about that?
Now that's
Story
role-playing.
first, role playing.
That's
Exactly. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, there are loads more from Dicebreaker for you to watch. Some of them should be popping up on screen now any second. They cover a variety of topics, including Dungeons and Dragons. You can also go to Dicebreaker.com for more written features on Dungeons and Dragons and lots of other things. You can go to Dicebreaker.myshopify.com for merchandise. But most importantly, we'd like to say thank you very much for watching and have a lovely day. Goodbye.
Bye.